here, but welcome to another short devotional as I look over this canyon, and it's a beautiful canyon, and it reminds me of David again from the Psalms, and it talks about how David goes through the valley of the shadow of death, right? And he feared no evil. So let me see if I can just turn this around. I wish I could, but it doesn't look like it's going to allow me to. So let me just go this way. And you're going to see that this is an incredible view of a valley. The Lord leads me through the valley of the shadow of death, and I shall fear no evil. And the idea is that David realized that down in the valley is where you go, that when you are out in the wilderness to find water. Essential to be able to survive. But when you do so and you walk in the very shadows, you realize how vulnerable you are, especially to an enemy who is waiting for you. And he's waiting for you up on the top of the cliffs to be able to spring down upon you his attack. And David talks about having to go down through this valley of the shadow of death. There's no way of going to be able to get the necessary water to survive. And yet I shall fear no evil, for the Lord shall protect me. And David knows what that's like. So many times he was chased by Saul, and he had to go through these valleys of the shadow of death. And he feared no evil, that the Lord would in fact provide for him. So when we look at this, it just gives us a wonderful picture that we go where we don't necessarily want to go, but we have to go. And David is no exception here. And he realizes that the Lord will take him through this valley, and he shall come out on the other side. So oftentimes we too have to go through the valley of the shadow of death. And it's not death. It is a valley that says will be difficult, but he brings us through it. And during the time we are often attacked. Jesus went through the wilderness, and he was attacked as well. And after he was very weak from not having eaten or had anything to drink, the enemy came upon him and challenged him to use his authority to be able to provide for himself. And he says, "I will not. For you must live by every word from the Lord, and not by bread alone." So when we look at this, we see many rocks along the way. And the other day when the family and I were hiking, we were hiking towards a small little place that at the end would be a store that was known for, its ice cream and its pies. And we talked about what type of pie we would get. What is our favorite pie? And you do that when you're hungry. You do that when you see your final destination as being a place that will provide you the comforts, and knowing that ahead of time you might be tempted to do that, but do not. God will provide it in the means, and the enemy wants you to take a shortcut. So think about that as you look at this.